Bangladesh is heading into one of the most consequential elections in its history, the first since the dramatic ouster of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in 2024. After 15 years of uninterrupted rule by the Awami League, voters will now choose a new government amid political upheaval, economic strain, and an unprecedented push to rewrite the country's constitutional order. Polling will be held on the 12th of February and the counting begins at 4 p.m. The results are expected the next day. This is Bangladesh's 13th national elections involving nearly 127 million voters. There are also high expectations of a peaceful transition under the interim administration, which is led by Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus. Across towns and villages in Bangladesh, party symbols dominate the campaign trail, with the BNP sheaf of paddy and the Jamaat-e-Islami scale and a huge surge of independent candidates. There are two main contenders. The first one is the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, which is led by Tariq Rahman, and then the second one is the newly formed 11-party bloc led by the Jamaat-e-Islami and the National Citizen Party. The Awami League, led by Sheikh Hasina, is suspended and barred from contesting the election. Opinions polls suggest that voter anger is being driven by high inflation, corruption, unemployment, and the struggle for economic recovery since the COVID-19 pandemic. Some surveys indicate that the BNP is going to win these elections, while the Jamaat-e-Islami could be headed for its strongest ever electoral performance yet. The Jamaat's manifesto lists 26 priority areas including law and order, youth empowerment, women's safety, anti-corruption measures, and the accountability for extrajudicial killings. The BNP's manifesto promises to put Bangladesh before all. It promises to rebuild the economy, expand welfare measures, constitutional reforms, environmental protection, and job creation along with food security. But this election is not only about choosing the government. Voters will also decide on a referendum that could fundamentally reshape Bangladesh's political system. The July Charter is a sweeping reforms document which was drafted by the National Consensus Commission formed after Hasina's fall. After months of negotiations, the Charter proposes more than 80 reforms across various institutions. It seeks to significantly enhance the powers of the President in a way to introduce checks and balances to the Prime Minister's power and to prevent future political excesses. It also recommends replacing the term Bengali with Bangladeshi in the Constitution's citizenship clause. 25 parties, including the BNP and the Jamaat-e-Islami, have signed the Charter. But the National Citizens Party has refused to sign it, exposing fractures within the reform movement itself. The outcome of this election will resonate far beyond Bangladesh's borders. Under Sheikh Hasina, Dhaka maintained close ties with India. Since her ouster, relationship between India and Dhaka have deteriorated sharply. India's decision to grant refuge to Hasina, followed by a death sentence handed to her by a court in Bangladesh, has strained ties. New Delhi has raised concerns about attacks on minorities in Bangladesh and has called for an inclusive election. Relations between India and Bangladesh worsened after the December shooting of leader Sharif Osman Hadi. Islamist group threatened to encircle the Indian High Commission and attacked Indian visa centers, and this forced the suspension of visa services, and that has yet to fully normalize. Jamaat-e-Islami has been traditionally skeptical of India, but it has struck a cautious note in its manifesto. In an indirect message to India, its Amir, Dr. Shafiqur Rahman said, and I quote, "If elected to power, we will guard the rights of 18 crore citizens and the entire landmass of Bangladesh. The elections will show a red card to pro-hegemony forces." Well, the Jamaat's manifesto promises quote-unquote constructive relations with neighboring countries. Its student wing was among the groups that led an India Out campaign during the election season. The BNP's manifesto promises to end quote-unquote border killings by the India's border security force and press for quote-unquote again a fair share of rivers like Teesta and Padma. It also promises to revive SAARC and deepen ties with Gulf countries. Bangladesh is also stepping up engagement with Pakistan. Since 2024, Yunus has met with Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif multiple times. Dhaka has hosted a Pakistani military delegation and joined Pakistan's Aman 2025 naval exercise. It also announced a resumption of direct flights, signaling a broader regional reset. Then there's a China factor. Beijing has extended its footprint in Bangladesh since Hasina's exit, and this has added another layer of complications in the geopolitics in the region. To To understand the weight of this election, we must take a look back. After independence in 1971, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman became Bangladesh's first Prime Minister, but he was assassinated in 1975. The country swung between a military rule and fragile democracy under Ziaul Rahman, Ershad, and later alternating governments led by Khalida Zia and Sheikh Hasina. For the last 3 decades, Bangladeshi politics revolved around Khalida Zia and Sheikh Hasina. Hasina dominated for the last 15 years until the upheaval in 2024 that shattered that political order. For Bangladesh, this election is not just about a mere transfer of power. As ballots are cast on the 12th of February, the country votes not only for a new government but also for its future. Thank you for watching this video, and for more such videos, subscribe to The Hindu.